His leggings and tunic were stitched from black fur. A soot-smeared chainmail coat hung loosely on his chest. His black iron helmet had a chainmail curtain around the base, what we in the Viking business call an aventail, completely covering his neck and throat. His features were obscured by a faceplate fashioned to resemble a snarling wolf. Of course a wolf. Everybody in the Nine Worlds loves wolves. They have wolf shields, wolf helmets, wolf screensavers, wolf pajamas, and wolf-themed birthday parties. Me, not so much loving the wolves. Take a hint, Magnus Chase. The assassin's voice warbled, modulating from soprano to baritone as if going through a special effects machine. Stay away from Provincetown. The fingers of my left hand tightened on the hilt of my sword. Jack, do your thing. You sure about that? Jack asked. The assassin hissed. For some reason, people are often shocked when they find out my sword can talk. I mean, Jack continued, I know this guy killed Otis, but everybody kills Otis. Getting killed is part of Otis's job description. Just chop off his head or something, I yelled. The assassin, not being an idiot, turned and fled. Get him, I told Jack. Why do I have to do all the hard work? Jack complained. Because I'm dangling here and you can't be killed. Just because you're right doesn't make this cool. I flung him overhead. Jack spiraled out of view, flying after the goat killer while singing his own version of Shake It Off. I'd never been able to convince him that the line isn't cheese grater's gonna grate. Even with my left hand free, it took me a few seconds to haul myself up to the roof. Somewhere to the north, the clanging of blades echoed off brick buildings. I raced in that direction, leaping over the church's turrets, launching myself across Berkeley Street. I bounced from rooftop to rooftop until I heard Jack yell in the distance, Ow! Most people might not run into battle to check on the welfare of their swords, but that's what I did. At the corner of Boylston, I scrambled up the side of a parking garage, got to the roof level, and found Jack fighting for his, well, maybe not his life, but at least his dignity. Jack often bragged that he was the sharpest blade in the Nine Worlds. He can cut through anything and fight a dozen enemies at once. I tended to believe him, since I'd personally seen him take out giants the size of skyscrapers. Yet the goat killer was having no trouble forcing him back across the roof. The assassin might have been small, but he was strong and quick. His dark iron sword sparked against Jack. Every time the two blades connected, Jack yelped, Ow! Ow! I didn't know if Jack was in real danger, but I had to help. Since I didn't have another weapon and I didn't feel like fighting empty-handed, I ran to the nearest lamppost and ripped it out of the cement. That sounds like I was showing off. Honestly, I wasn't. The pole was just the handiest weapon-like object I could find, except for a parked Lexus, and I wasn't quite strong enough to wield the luxury automobile. I charged the goat killer with my 20-foot-long jousting light fixture. That got his attention. As he turned toward me, Jack lashed out, opening a deep cut in the assassin's thigh. The goat killer grunted and stumbled. That was my chance. I could have taken him down. Instead, when I was 10 feet away, a distant howl cut through the air and froze me in my tracks. Geez, Magnus, you're thinking. It was only a distant howl. What's the big deal? I may have mentioned I don't like wolves. When I was 14, 2 of them with glowing blue eyes killed my mother. My recent encounter with Fenris hadn't done anything to increase my appreciation for the species. This particular howl was definitely that of a wolf. It came from somewhere across the Boston Common, reverberating off the high-rises, turning my blood to Freon. It was exactly the same sound I'd heard the night of my mother's death. Hungry and triumphant, the baying of a monster that had found its prey. The lamppost slipped from my grip, clanging against the asphalt. Jack floated to my side. Senor? Are we still fighting this guy or what? The assassin staggered backward. The black fur of his leggings glistened with blood. And so it begins. His voice sounded even more garbled. Beware, Magnus. If you go to Provincetown, you will play into your enemy's hands. I stared at that snarling face mask. I felt like I was 14 again, alone in the alley behind my apartment the night my mother died. I remembered gazing up at the fire escape from which I had just dropped, hearing the wolves howl from our living room. Then flames exploded from the windows. Who are you? I managed. The assassin let out a guttural laugh. Wrong question. The right question. Are you prepared to lose your friends? If not, you should leave Thor's hammer lost. He backed to the edge of the roof and toppled over. I ran to the ledge just as a flock of pigeons surged upward, rising in a blue-gray cloud, swirling away over the back bays.